Good morning. The Chief Executive will first make an address, and then there will be time for questions. And please ask no more than 2 questions when it's your turn. The Chief Executive. Good morning. Well, the coming 2 weeks, or these 2 weeks, are going to be very dynamic and vibrant for Hong Kong. As we all know, we have just started the Hong Kong Finance Week. We have over 500 participants and exhibitors and over 300 speakers. We believe the turnout will be over 10,000. And we've also got the Finance Global Leader Investment Summit due to start tomorrow. We understand that over 500 participants will attend, coming from different places. Financial leaders will be here to discuss with us and share experience. And this weekend we have the International Rugby 7. And next Thursday and Wednesday we've also got the Asian Health Summit. So we're going to have 2 very vibrant weeks, and since the introduction of 0+3 arrangement, we have more room for different activities, including relaxation of social distancing measures for the community. We are happier. We are having more activities, and there are more economic activities, and we're progressing. And starting from October, the average daily positive rate now in September, we started the 0+3 arrangement. In October, the outbound figures is 1.5 times that of September, and the inbound figures 1.9 times of September. So the 2 figures are more or less the same. Now, Hong Kong residents from overseas are coming back, and non-Hong Kong residents and non-mainland residents are coming back. And for the figures in October, is 2.3 times that of September. So activities are coming back. Momentum is growing. We will keep track of the situation with risks manageable. We will ensure that we can have more local activities and also activities to align with the international community, so that we can have more opportunity to take part in activities, and we can promote Hong Kong to the world. After 3 years of COVID-19, we can align with the international community. I welcome questions from members.
Please use a microphone when you put your questions. Please identify your media outlet before putting your questions, and please do limit yourself to 2 questions. On the left, lady on the front. I'm from Cable TV. Now, for the Global Financial Leaders Summit, you said that Hong Kong will be full of vibrancy, but various guests will be absent for various reasons. Are you disappointed? Do you have a list of the absent guests? The guests are holding Amber Code, but they can go to private cabins and restaurants. Is that a case of double standards? Professor Lo Chung Mao said that he would consider making it mandatory for healthcare workers to work for a certain number of years at public hospitals. When will this be implemented? Has the government consulted the sector? Will that deter medical or healthcare students? First of all, 2 guests who were about to attend the summit got infected with COVID. One speaker decided not to go on his or her Asian tour. But in terms of attendance, more than 200 guests will be attending the summit. That's in line with our expectations. In the policy address, I stress that the red and amber code system is all about risk management, so that we differentiate people into different tiers of risk levels. so that we can keep the risk levels manageable, and that makes it possible to hold various activities. So as I said in the policy address, we look at various activities, and different plans are formulated to make sure that these activities can go ahead. It's on these principles that we put in place certain measures so that some major events can go ahead in Hong Kong. Now, as long as risks are manageable, things can go ahead. For example, private cabins are involved. That's where certain activities can take place. Now, for this Global Financial Leaders Summit and the upcoming Rugby 7, there are targeted measures, and then afterwards we will do a review and see what lessons can be learned, and that will help us formulate plans for future activities. And that will also inform future plans concerning COVID and our directions. Now, coming to the point about the shortage of healthcare workers, we're trying to come up with ways to increase the manpower for healthcare services. The Healthcare Bureau is explaining some of its ideas to the LegCo. The Bureau is also consulting the relevant sector. This is about trying to ensure quality care for our people. We're working in this direction. We want to come up with viable ideas. In the end, it's all about trying to benefit our people. Next question on the left, gentleman in the middle.
Hong Kong Free Press. Paul Chan will likely test positive for COVID on arrival on a PCR. Will he undergo isolation, or will an exception be made in light of these events? And next, you say that the government will act in accordance with the law. When the government lost in a case over vaccine exemption certificates, rather than accept the verdict, it chose to change the law within a matter of days. Do you fear this sends the wrong message when it comes to Hong Kong's rule of law?
Well, first of all, the Financial Secretary on his arrival will do his PCR test, so we'll wait until his result. And of course, if he's found to be infected, he will have to isolate himself. We'll deal with his case according to the result. The second thing, I think your question is very misleading. The government acts in accordance with the law. That is the priority principle that we have been adopting. The judgment indicates that, well, there is a gap which needs to be filled, and therefore, according to the judgment, we take action to fill that gap to ensure that the action we take has a strong legal basis. So that is in full compliance with the principle of the rule of law. Then the question is whether we'll appeal or not appeal. And we have already issued a statement to indicate the government position. We have a duty to take care of public health speedily and efficiently. And that is the reason why we have been rolling out the different measures. When we acted, it was under this firm belief. If the judgment indicates that despite the good intention of the government, there is a need to ensure that the legal basis is strong and full, and according to that principle, we take action to ensure that we have a strong legal basis so that we can make sure that we act in accordance with the law. That's the principle of rule of law. Exactly, that's a very strong example that we are upholding the principle of the rule of law.
時間關係啦，我哋剔多最後一位題。
One more question. The lady on the right. Good morning, Chief Executive. The GDP, your media outlet, please. I'm from TVB. for the third GDP, it was announced yesterday, and it was shrinking for 3 quarters in a row. How do you view this figure, and what is your economic outlook for Hong Kong? And there are remarks that if 0+0 is not implemented, then there will be more travel agencies going bankrupt. And then for the incident involving Mirror Concert, the government said that a report would be due very soon, but we would like to know when. Now, the global economic environment is weak. Hong Kong is an external-oriented economy, and so the external factors for sure will impact on our economy. When it comes to export, our figures are indeed weaker. And there are a number of contributing factors, including a weaker foreign exchange that would affect export. And many developed economies have severe inflation, and they are tightening their fiscal policies to suppress demand, leading to an impact on our exports. Of course, we appreciate the importance of external factors on our economy. Locally, our epidemic is now under control, and we're gradually resuming activities, and the whole community is more vibrant and active. Together with the consumption vouchers, I think we can boost domestic consumption. They will have an active role to play. And as for employment figures, we haven't been affected at all. So we will keep track of the economy and also the global economic trend. Of course, on various fronts, we will also look at the impact on our financial services sector. Hopefully, with more activities in Hong Kong, our local economy will improve or pick up. Now, for the tourism sector, indeed, it has been hardest hit. In my policy address, I mentioned that we're going to spend $600 million to help our local eco heritage tours. And then local tours, including green eco tours, we have boosted the amount of subsidies, and also more will be eligible to apply for a larger subsidy. We'll continue to promote this. Now, I've said a number of times that when risks are manageable, well, my direction is consistent. We are going to steadily forge ahead so that different economic and social activities can resume where appropriate and with risks manageable. We are gradually adjusting, relaxing our social distancing measures. Hopefully, this is going to help. And from figures I just quoted, including our arrival and departure figures, they are rising, and more international events are being held in Hong Kong. I'm sure this will go a long way in boosting economic recovery. Thank you. Regarding the report on Mirror Concert incident is being tackled very proactively. I think the investigation is towards the end, and announcement will be due very soon. Thank you.